Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the questions, actually the most asked question I get from all my students on my website is, what should my practice routine look like? What should I be doing on a daily, hourly, weekly, monthly basis? Break it down for me. And I always say the same thing. And it has proved to be invaluable for me. I learned this at GIT when I went out there. And there are four pillars that I've built my entire practice routine around. Think of it as four legs to a stool. And you should shoot to have an equal amount of each in your practice routine. Not just every day. So you don't have to do all four every day. But like, let's say you put in 10 hours a week, maybe 2.5 hours of each, give or take, right? You want to strike for a macro balance. On a micro level, you can choose day to day, hour to hour what to focus on, especially when inspiration hits you in different ways or when you feel like you need to kick your own butt a little bit. So, number one is actual exercise. Just doing exercises to build strength, to build, the little tiny muscles in here, right? Dexterity, flexibility. And I do it straight finger exercises. This is what I do every morning. Now, the key here is, yes, do it with a click. Yes, do a bunch of different. Go forward, backwards, alternate pick, string skip, right? Do, do a bunch of weird stuff. Do legato, right? Do single digits, spreads, up and down the neck. But the real thing to focus on is different pulses. So instead of just going 1, 2, 3, 4, and always accentuating the 1, try accentuating the 2. Or the 3. Or the 4. And getting used to where all the different breaks are, right? All the different beats. So am I doing it in triplets? Am I doing it in eighth notes? Am I doing it in 16th notes? Practice pushing on this E or this ah or this let, right? That's the real stuff right there, because timing is everything. Number 2, work on the stuff that you know you need to work on. Actual practicing. So let's say and it doesn't have to be my course, it can be any course, but have a course, have a roadmap, a step-by-step roadmap of something that you're constantly working towards. So let's say you're in I think level 7 in one of my courses, and we're working on Dorian, and you're learning about how a 2 to a 3 chord or a 2 to a 5 are standard Dorian progressions, and you're learning how that that major 6, right, is really the third of your 5 chord. It's that top triad, whether it's 2 to 3 or 2 to a 5 that this note, that F sharp in the key of A, that bad boy is the target. That's what makes Dorian Dorian. And you're practicing. Right? So find a roadmap, some type of path, and work on it, whether it's ear training, whether it's theory. Do the stuff you know you're supposed to be doing, the stuff that you know you need to work on based on whatever your goals are. So that's pillar 2. Pillar 3, do not forget the reason you picked this thing up in the first place, and that's to have fun. That's to learn the songs that you love, that you couldn't get out of your head, the stuff that inspired you to pick this up in the first place and dedicate a lot of time, and for some of us, our lives, to this instrument. So put it in context. Learn songs. So for example, if I'm doing that Dorian thing, maybe I'm learning Van Morrison Moondance. Or maybe a Santana tune, right? He plays a lot of Dorian. And the point is, when you're learning the songs, put your thinking cap on. Put your real ears on, right? We talk a lot on the site about being an active listener. Put your real ears on and try to figure out why you like what you like. So learn it, love it, have fun, but put it in context. Connect the second pillar, right? Why? Why does that major 6 sound so good when Van Morrison sings it, right? Why does Santana make that sing? And what does it work over? How does it work over that chord? Don't just learn the tabs, right? Don't just learn it note for note. Say, oh yeah, that major 6th is actually the 3rd of my 5 chord. And you have it forever. And finally, step 4, arguably the most important one. And that's, you can't just practice and play. You gotta play with people. You have to create. No one will push you harder. Put it this way, you'll never push yourself as hard as other people will. You can be in your basement or in your studio and you can be practicing and learning songs. But if you're not writing with other people, gigging with other people on stage in front of an audience, you'll never reach that higher, you'll never keep pushing, you'll never accelerate at the same speed as if you are surrounding yourselves with people better than you, that inspire you on a local level, in the same room with the people, not records, not YouTube. I'm talking about flesh and blood in the room, dudes throwing air at you and you got to throw it back, right? You got to stay in time with the drummer when he's all over the place, right? You and the bass player got to figure out your voice leading, right? You got to work with the keyboard player who's being very nice to you and kind as you figure out your triads, right? You get out of his way. These are the things that that need other people. So whether you're writing, whether you're gigging, whatever it is, you have to take all these things and you have to start creating. And you create with other people. And when you do that, you're going to accelerate. That's why people pay big money to go to GIT, to go to Berkeley, to go to wherever, or move to a new town like Nashville or Austin, where they're just surrounded by inspiration and people that are busy, doing things, picking it up every day, trying to get better. It is a key component. I know it's crazy with COVID, so even if you can just get around with some buddies around the fire and have a couple beers and play some tunes, do it. Because when you're learning to keep time with the click, right, like in step 1, and learning the different pulses, that's great. But humans don't stay in time like a click. Humans move, they ebb and flow, and so does good music. So, to wrap it up, step 1, actual exercises. Actual exercises. Just to build strength and dexterity. Go until you feel the burn. Just like conditioning. There's a difference between running and conditioning. If you're conditioning yourself for a race, right, you got to push. Don't just do it. Do it till it burns. And then when you think you can't do anymore, do a little more, because you can always do more than you think you can. right? 2, follow a course. Get books, right? Get lessons with a private teacher. Don't not do the stuff that you know you need to do to get better. Find a step-by-step path. I'd love it if you chose mine, but there are other great ones out there. And honestly, if you want recommendations, email me, support@guitargate.com. I have a lot of friends that I 100% vouch for. I know my stuff isn't for everybody. Step 3, don't forget the reason you picked this up in the first place. It's because you love music and you want to have fun playing it. But don't forget to connect step 2 and 3. Why? Why do I love what I love? Put words to it. That's a major 6th, right? That's the 3rd of the 5 chord. And you'll have it for life. And you can use it to do what you want to do in step 4, which is make music. And if you can, do it with other people. You will accelerate the whole process when you surround yourselves with people who are better than you, that inspire you to be better. And you know what? You will inspire them as well. It's always both sides. And that's it. I wish you the best of luck. If you are curious about my courses, it's the first link in the description. It's how I support this channel. And at the end of the day, try to make those 4 things in even balance. Dedicate, this is a craft. This is a pursuit of a lifetime. Give yourself long-term goals, short-term little objectives, and you can get wherever you want to go in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Dead serious. You can do it. Bye-bye.